Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is Plans and Plats Review Committee meeting for December 8th. For all the applicants joining us online, please make sure you remain on mute until it's time for your particular case or otherwise need to speak. This will help us avoid any background noise. And to those of you here in person, please be sure to speak up so that those attending virtually can hear you. We'll start with the city's planner or project manager who'll provide a brief description and then their comments. Once they're complete, I'll facilitate going around the room. A little light crowd today, so it should go quick. If there's any other reviewers, or at that point, other reviewers will provide their comments. If the applicants, if you have a brief question, don't hesitate to ask, but if it's something that's going to require lengthy discussion or follow-up, we ask that you coordinate with the project manager or the specific planner reviewer directly and schedule some time to have that discussion. This will help us get through all of our cases today. So we appreciate your cooperation and understanding. So with that, we'll start with the first case on the agenda, which I believe was a carry forward from November, which is Kevy.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Kevy DeFrank, Senior Planner with the Development Services Department. For this first item, it is a Class A special use permit request with the waiver for the proposed improvements to an existing dock at the subject property located within the SF7 zoning district. The original project manager, case planner, who is no longer with the city, submitted his comments in the online system, and he provided me with the comments and notes for this case. And the only comment that I would like to highlight is that the application submittal is insufficient. And in order for this application to move forward or proceed through the process, you guys will need to provide the outstanding items as noted in the original project manager's comments. And that is it for me.
Okay, we'll go around the room. And Donna, can you confirm that you can hear us? You'll need to unmute.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Good, thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Cameron. I didn't realize there was anything outstanding on this. I thought that the only thing we're waiting for is for this meeting to confirm that we can go out an additional 30 feet with the dock. We got approval from DEP, Army Corps, and we're just looking for that approval from the city. So I'm a little confused by the comment because we didn't see any comments out there. I didn't look today. I haven't looked in the last couple of days, but from the original planner, there wasn't any comments that we did not address.
In his notes, he stated that he provided comments via email too.
So I
Kevy,
thought,
if you can just follow.
yeah, I thought
Sorry, if you can just follow up with her after you're done here.
Okay, I
Yeah,
can
'cause
follow
I
up
just-
with you after.
Thank you, because that just confuses me, because I thought the whole purpose was to get approval so we can move forward. Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, so we'll go around the room, just see if there's any other comments. Vince from survey?
No comments from survey and no comments from engineering either.
Okay. Mark, did you have anything from public utilities?
No.
Nope. Ricky, anything from public utilities?
No comments on my end.
Matt from public works?
No comments on public works.
Tracy from stormwater?
Just that the site's within a special flood hazard area, if it has any bearing on it.
Why they're building a boat.
Okay.
No, just kidding. Valeria for traffic?
No comment.
Robert Brown building?
No comments from Bill.
Bill is not here. Peter for fire?
No comments, sir.
No comments for fire. Smith for landscaping?
No comments from landscaping.
No comments. Lina, anything from law?
No comments from legal, thank you.
Okay. Rick, anything from development services?
Just going to make a comment for this case and all the other cases that I have directed our planners to strictly adhere to our deadlines that are in the development schedule that I sent out back in October. So for any case going to the February planning board meeting, which is any case at the PPRC today, those revisions will have to be resubmitted to us by 12/23, December 23rd. I also will ask that all of the resubmittals and responses be complete, be thorough. If they come back unanswered, we're going to bump it to the next meeting. So we've got a development schedule Given the workload we have for all of us in the city, I'm asking everybody to honor those deadlines and don't just submit stuff to meet the deadline. It has to be a full, complete, thorough response. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rick. So Donna, Kevy will follow up with you after this meeting and make sure you got all the information you need to move forward, okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right.
So we'll go to case number 2, which is Kevy, Planning Board 1946.
Hello again, Kevy DeFrank, Senior Planner. So this item is another Class A special use permit with waivers request for the proposed improvements to an existing dock located within the SF7 zoning district. I provided my comments in the system and the applicant has already resubmitted an attempt to address those comments.
Wow.
And that's it for me.
All right, good job, Joe Verdone. We'll go around the room. Vince for survey.
No comments from survey or from engineering.
Okay, Mark, Public Utilities?
No, none.
Anything, Ricky, Public Utilities? No. Matt, Public Works?
No comments from Public Works.
Tracy, Stormwater?
Notice the survey is 7 years old, and it has a bold reference to the FEMA flood.
Okay,
Whoa. Hey, you already have a new survey that's been updated
Yeah, he submitted in the
and
resubmittal.
it's been signed off.
okay. Valeria for traffic?
No comments.
Nope. Robert for building?
No comments from building.
Peter for fire?
No comment.
Lina for legal?
No comments from legal.
Rick, Development Services?
No comment, thank you.
All right, wow, we're moving right along. Thanks, Joe.
All right, well, everything was resubmitted on the 23rd, so we're hopeful that this is, only zoning was the one that was hanging out, so, please advise us. We would like to get this thing on the agenda.
Okay, Kevy will coordinate
you.
with you.
Thank you.
Number 3 on the agenda is Kevy, it's Planning Board 791 MM.
Yes, Kevy DeFrank, Senior Planner again. This case is a major amendment to the Central Park Commercial Plan Development request to allow for a new office building on the subject property. I provided my my comments in the online system, and I would like to highlight a few of my comments. The first, number 7, which is in reference to the proposed landscape buffer. That is something that we have to discuss further internally, and I will reach out back to you in regards to that language. And then my comment number 9, which states that the proposal is not in compliance with the minimum number of parking requirements for the proposed medical office use. So that needs to be addressed. And then my last comment, which refers to signed letters from both the Center Park Property Owners Association and the Architectural Review Board, needs to be provided stating that they've reviewed and approved the proposal that has been submitted.
Yeah, we have that in hand now, so we'll submit that.
Okay, that's it for me.
Appreciate it.
Okay, all right, thank you, Kevy. So we'll go around the room. Vince for survey.
My comments are in the system. I just had a few addressing some of the issues I saw. Rick Rosano's engineering comments are in the system as well too, standard first round comments. So he's out today, but his comments are in the system. That's it.
Okay. Mark, Public Utilities.
I had a few comments uploaded in the system. I didn't have any particular bring up here.
Okay. Ricky for Public Utilities.
All comments I have are uploaded to the system.
All right, and Cameron, you're confirming you have all those, right?
Yes, yeah, we have them.
Okay. Matt for Public Works.
I requested some information regarding sanitation service, nothing specific to highlight.
Okay. Tracy for stormwater?
My comments are in the system from November. If they made a resubmittal, I did not look at those plans.
Okay. Valeria for traffic?
Yes, my comments are in the system. I'm just gonna highlight a couple, scheduled methodology meeting and, to update the traffic study to use the more recent or, count, and as well on the fact that the actual analysis is recommending so. And then to go in more details with respect to the Center Park DRI and its trip allocation. And to provide a transportation specific site plan with all the transportation related features properly showcased and dimensioned. That's it.
Okay. Robert, building?
Robert Brown, Building Department. These are the comments from November 10th that were entered. I'll run through some of the key comments. The site is in a flood zone, zone AE, so basic flood elevation is 12.7 feet in ABB. So the first floor and all equipment will need to be elevated 2 feet above that. Accessible parking spaces on levels 4, 5, and 6. Those spaces are further away from the elevator lobby than regular parking spaces. So the accessible parking spaces will have to be relocated. Van accessible parking, none were shown on the plans. 1 in every 6 accessible parking spaces must be van accessible. If you're proposing electric vehicle charging stations, then 1 in 25 must be accessible. And I'm going to cover a comment for Sibylle Welter on art in public spaces. I've given you her contact information. You can reach out to her for showing how you're going to meet that requirement for Art Life. And I've also given you contact information for Caroline Powell, who's the building address coordinator. Contact her for that exercise. There are other comments, but if you have any questions, let me know.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Sibylle in yet? No. So Cameron, I believe you'll need to follow up with Sibylle regarding art in public places.
Okay, got it.
Peter for fire?
Yes, I provided my comments, they're quite extensive, but they're common for this type of submittal, mostly related to the plan review submittal. Two comments I'd like to bring up and highlight is, one is the long entrance is on a dead end, and it looks like there's a turnaround under the building. Some of those dimensions weren't provided on the submittal, and we can sort of work offline with those to make sure that they meet the minimum requirements for a turnaround. The second one is on the floor plan, it did show definitively a command center, emergency command center. I'm sure there's going to be one there, and we can work out that command center offline. You can reach out to me with some emails and some floor plans on both of those highlights. Otherwise, if there's any comments, I'll just let my comments stay as they are. Thank you.
All right. Smith, landscaping?
Ray's comments are in the system. They seem pretty straightforward.
Okay. Lina, anything for legal?
No comment.
Rick?
I'm good, thank you.
No. Cameron, do you have any quick questions, or it sounds like you need to follow up with a couple of people?
Yeah, there's a few follow-ups I'm gonna do. I don't have anything quick. So.
Okay. All right, thank you. So we will go to number 4 on the agenda, which is Lenda, Planning Board 1949.
Yep, okay, so this is an application for a minor subdivision replat to combine the parcels of the proposed Olara project, redevelopment project, which will move forward to the December 20th Planning Board. My zoning comments are straightforward. I did have a chance to speak to the project surveyor to go over my comments. The only thing that I wanted to make note of is the plat approval is contingent upon the approval of the alley abandonment. So the plat cannot move forward to City Commission until the right-of-way abandonment is approved.
Linda, is it possible that those can be on the same agenda?
Vince?
The abandonment and the plat?
Yeah, can it?
Does the plat need to go at this point? Or can it be a condition of CO?
Brian, did you hear that?
We're fine if it's a condition of CO. We just want to make sure we can get moving on the project, so we're trying to, get it done, but I don't think the plat shouldn't take much longer than, a month or so after the January meeting, which I'm hoping we get the abandonment on, but ideally, if we can get it all on the same, it would be fine, but as long as we don't hold the project up, if it's a condition of CO, we're totally fine.
Unless it's something that, Robert, that you need for building permit wise. Only reason I'm asking this is because of things right now are somewhat in a flux we met with Mike Spruce this morning on the engineering portion of it. So we're trying to work some stuff out. So in case we need to add any additional easements or anything else on the plat that might be shifting at this point, we could do it by separate instrument at a later date, but I'd rather have it on the plat if it's possible. So, and I know that the exit alley wasn't shown on the plat, so that needs to be shown and dedicated. So there's a few minor tweaks to it that need to be addressed, but I'm not sure whether it needed to go at this time or not. So.
No, I mean, I conditioned before prior to CO.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that we can probably discuss further.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, from a building code perspective, you're crossing property lines, and the concern is the building code requires you have fire rating on the property line.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would prefer prior to permit issuance, rather than CO, as we make a condition on the permit issuance.
Which we've done before in other ones. I mean,
And I think that would work, Robert, because we've got to, so long as it doesn't hold up any of the permit reviews as we get through the permits, that'll take a few months anyway. We'll finalize anything more on the plat.
Yeah, if it's not resolved prior to then just be ready for plan reviewers to make that comment. Even if I tell them not to, they will.
I can tell them not to if it helps.
Good luck with that. Yeah, that works for us.
okay.
Robert, I presume they're gonna pursue a separate foundation permit first?
Yes.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay. Anything else? All right, survey?
Yeah, my comments, well, I'll be producing a plat comments letter. Engineering Rick Rosano had no comments. One thing that came up because this is CMUD, for the demolition permit, have an approved building permit or have been applied for, or
yeah.
Okay, and to do that, you need to have an approved engineering permit, and that's the kind of loop that we were in this morning, was trying to figure out how, because of the engineering portion of it shifting somewhat possibly with the sanitary sewer, how that affects the issuance of engineering being able to sign off on the building permit to be able to sign off on the demo permit. So
Vince, similar to what we had talked about on the other project, what seems like 2 weeks ago, but I think was only last week. If we start with the soils and vibro compaction, does that require the engineering permit done as well, or can we start that so we can sequence things?
Well, on this project, you've got a lot of clearing to do first. So I don't think you can do any vibro flotation or anything until you get those buildings clear. So you're gonna have to come in for this one, you're gonna have a demo permit first before you can do any of that work.
Right. I just want to make sure that we can get that permit, which then allows us to get the demo permit or if we need engineering for that too. Like, do we need to finalize the engineering permit to be able to get to demo? Because the vibro compaction gets us to the demo.
But the demo, you gotta get the building, get through building permit.
Vibro compaction is counting as that.
Permit can be.
Yeah, the vibro is the building permit.
You're talking about Northwood Square is where we did this, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I have no problem with that doing, I mean, if you can approve, so me approving a vibro flotation or vibro compaction permit will satisfy the condition of the clearing permit, okay, all right.
And you can also make it conditional too, if you need to. You can make your approval of the.
We were just trying to think how that worked, but I'd kind of forgotten about Northwood Commons, how that sequence, that one, this one I just kept looking, it was a full site of buildings, you know what I mean? So there's actually a whole lot where the Northwood Commons was pretty much open, you know what I mean, those parts, so. All right, so that looks like it may not be a.
Thank you.
Okay. You said Rick Rossano didn't have anything?
Not for the replat, no.
Okay. Mark Hurley, Public Utilities?
Nothing for me.
Ricky for Public Utilities?
No comment.
Matt for Public Works?
No comments on public works.
Tracy for Stormwater?
No comments on the system, just before lunch.
Okay. Valeria for Traffic?
No comment.
Robert for Building?
Vince took all my comments.
Seville, no. Peter for Fire?
No comment.
Smith for Landscaping?
No comments for landscaping.
Lina for Legal?
No comments for legal.
And Rick for Development Services?
No comments.
All right. Brian, you have anything else you need to go over real quick, or?
No, we'll just, we're gonna move it as fast as possible, so you may be getting phone calls and whatever, so, we appreciate all the time.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
So we will go to item number 5, which is Kevy. It is formal site plan 22-10 and planning board 1923.
Yes, Kevy DeFrank, Senior Planner. So for this agenda item, it's the resubmittal of the Spruce project, which is a mixed-use development, along with the companion application for the alley, portion of the alley right-of-way abandonment. I provided my comments in the system. And the only comment I would like to highlight is the very last comment, which refers to a proposal exceeding the maximum number of residential units allowed within the Northwood Mixed-Use District, according to the city's comprehensive plan. And that's it.
And I think they're gonna be tapping into House Bill 1339,
Right.
which would allow them to go over, but we'll have to do an internal
Right.
comp plan amendment to adjust that.
Right.
And anything else that may come in, so.
Okay.
And the,
No, go ahead.
the traffic study that would be required, would that will support, that will be given in support of what you guys need to take that determination for the council. Those are the conversations that Jeff had with, Angela, that will need to kind of traffic impact analysis.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be presenting to the commission on Monday, Nick, so you know, and what I'll do is I'll talk about the interim resolution that we're adopting, the interim standards. One of the 7 elements will be a traffic analysis, so we'll have to make sure that with the increased units that the traffic still works, so Valeria will be looking at that. But, yeah.
That's this Monday?
This Monday, yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Kevin?
Nothing else coming.
All right, we'll go around the room. Events survey?
Comments on the system, I think I had no comment on the extra height and the abandonment, the appraisal's already been ordered and delivered, so that's completed. Engineering Rick Rossano had no comments on either.
Okay. Excuse me, Mark, Public Utilities?
Yeah, I just had a couple comments. The main thing is that there appear to be conflicts between landscaping and utilities. Please show all the utilities on the landscaping plans and make sure that trees and utilities are distant. That's it.
Okay. Ricky, you have anything else for Public Utilities?
I have my comments in the system. The only one I kind of wanted to highlight is that there isn't really anything showing as far as, the removal of the existing water main. There's a note for it, but I guess, some sort of demolition plan would be helpful.
Okay. Matt, Public Works?
Yeah, actually, I passed last review with some conditions of approval. Out of 3, only 2 were acknowledged. And also, I talked to Rick the other day regarding the concern I had for the auto turn. Right after, I'm looking at the auto turn exhibit, sheet X1, which shows, based on the proposed turning radius, there's some encouragement for the sanitation truck after it makes the turn heading south. So that turning radius needs to be revisited. And we could discuss that offline.
Okay. Thanks, Matt. Tracy, Stormwater?
My comments are in the system.
Okay. Valerio, for traffic?
Yeah, okay, so you guys gonna provide an updated traffic study?
We are.
You got GPS study?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can put that directly to your report.
So I submitted several comments. I guess the one I would like to highlight, the one related to, the signage pavement marking for the alleyway, to showcase, the one-way configuration. And then, on the eastern end of the alleyway, I put in an elaborate comment about, you can schedule a conference call that just touch base with me.
All right. Robert, building?
No comments on the abandonment of the alley, but on the building design, the pullback has wheelchair access only, so this access via stairs. And it has wheelchair access only via elevator. That elevator doesn't have any access, it seems, from the first floor within the building. It seems to be accessed only through the loading area. That's something to take a look at. The van accessible parking spaces, they've got 9 accessible parking spaces, then you're going to need 2 van accessible parking spaces, and none are labeled as such yet. You are showing 4 EV parking spaces, and so at least one of those will have to either be in an accessible parking space or be designated as an accessible. There are other comments, I won't go through all of those are just the highlights.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Civilities, Meredith, you'll just follow up with Civility regarding art in public places?
You got the.
Did she? Okay. All right. We'll go into Peter for fire.
Yeah, fire's got no objection, to the proposed site plan. My comments are in the system, they're more related to assisting in the, building plan submittal. And if there's any concerns, any of these, you can reach out to me with the emails, PDFs, and your questions, and we can communicate that way. No objection. My comments.
All right, thank you, Peter. Smith for landscaping?
Ray's got comments in the system. If you have anything, you gotta hit him up.
Okay, Meredith, you got his comment? Okay. Lina, anything for legal?
Well, for the abandonment of the alley right away, I take it legal's gonna need to prepare a disclaimer. Are there utilities on the property that we would need an easement, on the abandoned property?
Well, we're getting them relocated, abandoned and relocated, and any portion of utility that would go into the new or access, yes, we're providing an access easement,
Okay.
For utilities and other. Can we also get a draft easement for that portion? We can do. Thank you.
Lina will need to, we can probably discuss what all needs to go in that easement. It's gonna be a utility utility, I'm not sure if there's gonna be any drainage or not, so I'll take a look at that.
Thanks.
If utility does not include drainage, yeah.
If it's gonna be drainage, then we wanna make sure.
Okay, but you'll follow up, let us know.
Yeah, I'll get together with you.
Rick, anything?
I just wanted to confirm the 8-story height that you're achieving, you're doing it through the House bill, you're not utilizing the historic preservation buyout. So then we'll ask that 2 of the 4 floors be set aside for workforce. I know in your discussions with CRA, you're gonna do more, but I just wanted to confirm that, okay.
So of the 4, additional floors, you want 2 of the 4 to have?
Yeah, we're not saying the specific floor has to be designated as workforce, but the equivalent of 2 floors of units. So it would be roughly 25% of the total mix, and if you want to intersperse them, that's fine throughout the building.
Meredith, do you have any quick questions, or, you know?
Yeah, really quickly for the easement, documents. Assuming that would be, a CO condition, or would it be during building permits that you want to work that out? And if there is, so what do you need from us to effectuate the document?
But I think we'll work together, and then we'll certainly copy you with anything that you need immediately.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have a replat for the property at some point.
We are.
So, I'm just thinking, I mean, we can handle it by the replat, by the dedication. Or by separate instrument. I mean, it's all timing because it depends when the replat comes in. We do the replat. If we're closing the alley and we're rerouting the sanitary, and we have that easement in place, because otherwise private property, you know, so we need to be in place to make sure that that's covered. Whether we do the replat earlier on to provide for the access facility easement. I'll have to figure that timing out to see. Preference is it's covered for when we do the utility work, which normally I can say the replat can come at the end, but in this case, it may have to come sooner because of the utility component, or if we do it by separate instrument after the abandonment, you know, because showing the plat as an existing easement, you know, so we'll.
You're gonna show the easement on the plat though, right?
Either we do it as an existing,
Okay.
or either we dedicate it by the plat, or we do a separate instrument and we just reflect that on the plat.
Okay.
So it is an existing easement, so we'll just have to work out which way we want to go with it and what's the easiest way to get it done, so.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Anything else, Meredith? Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. So we will go to number 6 on the agenda, Planning Board 1947, which is myself. So this is an expansion to the Science Center and Aquarium. They are proposing to expand their existing lease area to encompass 10.5 acres. In addition, they will change the zoning of the property for their portion that they are leasing from ROS to community service, and then further establishment of a planned development. There's going to be a 73,000 plus square foot expansion, as well as a significant number of site improvements to the property. For those, I believe a number of people have been involved in the planning process to this point, but certainly look forward to everyone's feedback. I haven't put my comments in yet, but I will get that in this afternoon. There's just a few generalized stuff that I want to bring up at this point, though. We're gonna probably need to have, and I know discussions already started with regards to the phasing of the project, because the existing science center is proposed to remain open. We all want to make sure we're on the same page as to what is going to be completed when, and the expectations of the level of that completion, and making sure that safety and everything is going to be factored in. So we're probably going to need some exhibits and stuff like that, but we'll continue to have those conversations. As similar with regards to the maintenance obligations. I know there's obviously the lease boundary, but, you know, there's been conversations about who's going to be in charge of maintaining what, so we'll probably have to put together some exhibits showing, you know, what obligations are the Science Center versus Parks and Rec, and things like that. John, I don't know if you're heading up this one, but if you can clarify with regards to the parking waiver, I just want to confirm that you're not requesting to reduce the number of required spaces, but you're proposing just to allow the spaces outside of the lease. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure because I know there was back and forth, you know, throughout the planning of this. So.
Yeah. And what, I guess, what departments are you thinking that, you know, we need to talk about? Just set up another meeting to kind of get engineering and building and you together on the phasing?
Yeah, probably, and landscaping and things like that. You know, it's not an urgent need. I just want to keep it on the radar.
Yeah, I know it was one of Ray's comments. You know, I mean, the tree, you know, removal and relocation is all going to be done in one phase, you know, right up front. So to get our lay down areas right. So, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I also want to have, and this primarily would just pertain to me, I think, sitting down with you guys. I want to get a better understanding of, there's a number of things on the site plan that weren't labeled, and, you know, just as far as like fences versus walls, gates, things like that, but also like screening of equipment and generators and vegetation storage. And I don't know if the concept is kind of creating a service courtyard that is completely screened, or if we need to worry about screening and enclosing each individual component. So I kind of want to get a better idea of what you guys are thinking more in that southwest corner of the property or of the lease. And then also some more detail about what's happening out front, because you have some courtyards and you show gates, but you don't necessarily have walls or fences labeled. So I think just some additional detail will be needed in there. You also have on your plans a few places where you say that the easement has already been abandoned, but you're still showing the easement. Is there a reason to keep it on the plans, or can we just remove that portion?
You know, it's carryover from the survey. You know, I'm not sure why they do that, but yeah, we can remove it. Though our booking pages are recorded and it's gone. So yeah, we can remove it from the site plan.
Yeah, it just creates some confusion with regards to, you know, it looks like you're putting landscaping in easements, fences, walls, and so forth. So, those are the main things. Again, I'll get my detailed comments in this afternoon after this meeting. But I'll coordinate with you as far as just being able to sit down and go over that additional detail. Okay. We'll go around the room. Vince?
Mr. Wells, surveying. My comments are in the system. I've got a few more that I was going to add at the request of Suzanne Berglund, who's the engineer in charge of the restroom relocation. So she had a couple comments she wanted to add. So I told her I'd add them to my list. So they'll be put in this afternoon. Rick Rosano's engineering comments are in the system as well too, our standard first pass at them. So mostly dealing with utilities, landscaping, the proposed lift station, the force main coming out of that new lift station wasn't shown, so we need to see the routing of that. And then, like John said, the maintenance responsibilities was another issue that needs to be worked out. That was it.
Okay. Mark, Public Utilities?
I uploaded a list of review comments. I have 3 to go over right here. One is the relocated water service for Building 5 have to have a backflow assembly. Please show it on the civil plan. On sheet LP11, please show existing and proposed utilities. At least the water main is missing on there. And update landscaping plans with the most recent revision of utilities from the civil one. I think some old ones might have been used. So,
All right, thank you, Mark. Ricky, anything for public utilities as well?
I've got all my comments uploaded into the system.
Okay. Matt, Public Works?
I put my comments in the system, nothing specific. The only thing I wanted to highlight is when providing the audit term, please make sure the tire path and the dynamic envelopes are different colors. We can differentiate.
Okay.
Sorry, can you say
Tracy
that
Storm?
again about, sorry, can you say that again about the audit turn? I couldn't make that out.
Yeah, for the audit term that I requested, could you please make sure, as indicated in the comment, to provide a different color for the tire path and the dynamic envelope of the sanitation collection area.
You get that, Paul?
Yeah, I don't know why yours wasn't in color, because what we provide was in color, but that's fine. We'll do it again.
No, he's asking a different color for the tire path versus a different color for the building, or excuse me, the vehicle envelope.
Understood, and that is shown in two different colors. So
you want to know if the banana is going to get totally crushed by the tire or just come close to it?
Yeah, or just
to be exact. That's right.
yeah. Now those turning template exhibits that we provide show the vehicle body in a different color than the wheels. So that's fine. We'll do it again. We'll send it to you. It's fine.
Okay. Tracy, stormwater?
I'm still working on my comments.
Okay. Valerio for traffic?
I did not have the chance to complete my review, so I will upload my comments here tomorrow, beginning next week. The only item I noticed at a quick glance is the width of the roadway with respect to the angle parking. If you have a 90-degree stalls, you need to have 24 width. Otherwise, you need to angle the stalls according to the width of the road.
Okay. Robert Brown, building?
Robert Brown, I passed the review. I'll just run over 5 informational comments. There are a number of buildings being demolished, so asbestos survey will have to be provided. And I've given the contact information for Alex Ortega at the Health Department. The site is in a flood zone AE with a base flood elevation of 12.2 feet NABD. So the first floor of the buildings and all the equipment serving the buildings will have to be elevated 2 feet above that. If you are going to be providing EV charging stations, at least 1 in 25 of those must be accessible. Giving you a list of the separate permits that will be required. And for building addresses with new buildings, I've given you the contact information for Caroline Boyle, so you can go over that and coordinate that with her. So these are comments that we'll be making sure that you are addressed at the time of building permit. That's it.
Thanks, Robert. What's that percentage on the 25% of the EVs?
What did you say? 1 in 25. 1 in 25 of your EV.
Okay, thank you.
same ratio as a regular, ADA compliance.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Robert. Seville for Art and Public Places.
Hi, you're gonna see my comment is not required because you're a nonprofit. You won't see it as a pass because that means that you were supposed to do this. So you'll just see that and keep on going.
You can put it there.
You can put a not required.
Not required, yep. That's what you're gonna see. I'm just clarifying that it's not a pass, it's just not required.
Peter for fire.
Yeah, fire has no objections to the proposed site plan. I have a list of comments. Not gonna go over each one of them. There's really nothing to highlight. They just assist in your plan review, reminders when you submit. But if there's something you want to go over before you submit, you can reach out to me, email with some PDFs, and I'll respond that way. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Peter. Smith for landscaping.
Yeah, Ray's comments are in the system, along with his contact information. Should you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to him.
Okay. Lina, anything for legal?
No legal.
Okay.
Thank you.
And just an FYI, Nancy has been involved in early discussions, and I'm sure we'll continue to work on the lease and things like that, so.
Yeah, I think I actually reviewed the lease.
All right.
So
well,
it's almost near complete.
Okay. Sounds good. Rick, anything else for development services?
No comments, thank you.
All right. John, you have any quick questions, or I'll definitely follow up with you on maybe having a quick sit down in the next few days.
Thank you for your assistance. Thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you. So we will go to number 7, formal site plan 22-08, and this is Eric with a resubmittal.
So I handed out, I see Meredith and Hunter here, so they got my comments. They are posted, subject to, I'm going to follow up on the bicycle streetscape parking and the lighting outside of this meeting. I think I need to provide a drawing after talking with Alex Hansen about the bicycle parking locations. I think some of the bigger items on here that I just want to highlight are the civil plans continue to show that the building does not meet the setback along South Dixie and Gardenia. That was not fixed from my last comments. So that is critical. And most of the other comments were detailed comments that need to be still provided. I will let the comments go around the room.
All right, event survey.
That's all my comments are in the system. I mean, two main ones are the maintenance map designation and also the property line for Johann Joe's proposed property line. Then Rick Rosano's for engineering's got 1 or 2 comments in the system as well.
All right, Mark, public utilities.
Yes, I just had 2 review comments. First one was that the backflow assemblies for irrigation and cooling towers, water services can't be located in the right of way. Second one is that water service designs are non-standard and may need revision at engineering development submittal.
Okay, Ricky, public utilities.
I have nothing to bring up or highlight, but I got the rest of my comments uploaded in the system.
Matt, public works.
No comments.
Tracy, stormwater.
My comments are not in the system, they're all in tonight. I just want to note that there's no grades provided or finished floor elevation.
Okay. Valerio for traffic.
So, yeah, put in my comments in the system. All of them are from the previous resubmission. Say in general, the width of the driveway, the configuration of the docking bays, those are items that we should be discussing and see if you can reduce the width of the service driveway. Also, regarding the traffic studies, I found several little details that need to be corrected. And one of them regarding the peak hour traffic, right turning to the facility, that might warrant the deceleration storage lane on First Street, west of the driveway. So, but again, all my comments are uploaded online, we can have a conversation.
Okay. Robert, building.
Comments from my previous review have been addressed, so we'll see you at building permit.
Saville, Art Light.
Oh, so my comments were in there, it's passed. I'm just reminding everybody from here, but until you get to building permit fees or your art assessment application, your escrow is due, there's a lot of work you have to do because you will need to find your artist, start really looking about the type of art you're gonna put in. So just a reminder that it's a short time to do a lot. Okay? Yeah, we'll, we'll get together, yeah. Just a friendly reminder. Lots of, very exciting, but lots to happen.
All right, Peter for fire?
I've got no additional comments, you approved the previous one.
Good. Smith for landscaping?
Ray's comments are in the, system, along with, information.
Okay. Lina, anything for legal?
No comments.
No. Rick, anything else?
I guess my only question is, I'm not sure how the applicant's gonna resolve the maintenance map issue, because that's the elephant in the room that's gotta be
Yeah, exactly.
addressed.
Yeah, that's, after this.
Okay, you guys have anything? Nope. All right. I believe that's it, unless anybody has anything else.
Thank you, John.
All right, thank you, guys.
Now.